Good morning, everyone. I'm Marg from Creative Stamping with Marg. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from St. Albert, Alberta. Today, I have a lot of news on my desk again, as always, from Stampin' Up! We're going to make a fun card that I saw another demonstrator show, and I really liked what it looked like, and I actually used it as a swap card. So I'll show you that, and let's go down to my desk and have a look at all my news. Okay, there we go. Down to the desk here. You can see I've got my catalog sitting here. This is the new Stampin' Up! Catalog that's good from beginning of May to August 31st. If you would like to see the catalog in person and you don't have one and you don't have a demonstrator, you can contact me. My website and my Stampin' Up! Store are listed up there, and I will get one into the mail for you, or a porch pickup if you live in my area. Just wanted to mention, check out the online exclusives, the kits that are online, and the last chance list is still going strong. There's still lots of things on there. I don't think I'm using anything from there today, but we'll talk about those things. There is a craft class that is that's coming live tomorrow, but if you purchase this class, you have access to it forever. The class number is 171475. It's $41, and it's called the Paper Mixer class. They are using particular paper and supplies, but I think the ideas in the class will be valuable for any of our supplies. Okay, that's tomorrow if you're interested in that. The new starter kit for May. Our starter kit is always a really great option. You get $165 worth of product for $135, and there's no obligation to do anything except get a discount. So you can become a demonstrator, you can hold classes, you can do videos, or you can just be a happy shopper. Okay, the two different options for this kit are, you pay the $135 and you would choose $165 worth of product, as I said. You can also add on the new In Colors 5 ink pads, and there are new ink pads, they're magnetic, and that's a value of $90, and you would get those for free. Or if you don't want the ink pads, or you already have them, you can add on an extra $50 worth of any product at all. So you can choose from the catalog, you can choose from online exclusive, you can choose kits, any of the products that we have that are valid right now. Okay, so this, like I said, is always the best offer. If you need some help, you can always contact me again. Okay. This is the product of the month for May. I don't have it in my hands yet, but I've got it on the flyer here. So the way you purchase this is, once you place an order for $100 worth of product, you can add this on for $7. So this is called Berry Botanical Vellum, and by all accounts it's quite heavy, and you get 4 designs, you get 12 sheets, it's 12 by 12. It looks really beautiful, and it is using one of the new, well, yes, one of the new colors for sure, if not maybe more than that, because this is the Peaceful Pine. That's one of our new colors, In Colors. Okay, so that's the May product of the month. However, they run the product of the month till they run out. So April's product of the month was the Eyelet Blooms die, and it is still available. So this one, when you place an order of $100, you can purchase this one for $5. So this is what it looks like. I do have this one. It's a large die, as you can see, and very intricate. So that's also available. Okay, I think that's, oh, the paper pumpkin, sorry. The new paper pumpkin that you need to subscribe by June the 10th is called Bikes and Blooms. And it looks like a good one. 9 cards, each of 3 designs, and you get matching envelopes. There's silver foil, pre-cut pieces, some silver butterflies, and linen thread. Your classic Stampin' Spot is Calypso Coral this time. And the dies that have gone with the last 3 months, April, May, and now June, are called Wonderful Scenes dies, and there they are at the bottom there. They are an add-on for $18, and the number is 168665 if you're interested in those. Okay, let's get on to our card. Like I said, I made this as a swap card for a team meeting that I go to. So we are using Nature's Symphony, the paper and the stamps and dies, and my card base today is a crumb cake base. So there it is there. It is 5.5 this way, sorry, by 8.5. Scoring a little differently, as you can see, at 1.5 and 5 3/4. So when you fold it, it's like a gatefold, but it's an uneven gatefold. So that's what the base looks like. It also can be opened this way if you like it this way. But I thought this was rather unique, and I liked the way this one opened. So that's our base. You will also need another piece of crumb cake, and this piece I cut using the nested essential dies, the largest rectangle. I call these rectangles. And then, oops, sorry, I need it to focus. Then I ran it through the mini corrugated 3D embossing folder, which I realized afterwards is actually retired, but you could use any embossing folder to do this. So there's that piece. You also need your greetings, and my greetings came from 2 different kinds of dies. I used the Stylish Shapes for this one, and I've already done my stamping, but I used this long banner and the happy birthday, and I'll show you where that comes from. And then I used the smallest everyday arch, and I put my other greeting on there. So one's for the inside, one's for the outside. Those are all out of crumb cake. And I told you we were using the Stylish Shape, or the Nature Symphony, sorry, Nature Symphony stamps and dies. So this, To a Great Guy, came from Nature Symphony. And the happy birthday, because it didn't have a happy birthday greeting, I had to go searching for one. This one came from Addressed to You, and this is the one that is supposed to be for your envelopes, how you can put some fancier things on your envelopes, but it does have happy birthday here, and it is 2 separate stamps. I just laid them out on my grid paper to make sure they were straight, and they were side by side there, because that's the way I wanted it. I didn't want it up and down. So that's where I got that from. And we are using the dies, the Nature Symphony dies. The large leaf here, I cut out of the, what's it called? Earthen Toned metallic paper. I have to think about that. Earthen Toned metallic paper, sort of that brown paper. Okay, so I cut that out of there. And I also cut out this little wood grain element here out of the same. Okay, so I've got that. You also need a coordinating piece of DSP, and what I'm using is coming from our Nature Walk paper. So it's this piece, and the back was this, if that helps you identify it. And then I've got a coordinating piece of cardstock. Oh, sorry, this piece is 2.5 by 5 1/4, and this is going to go on the right side, like that. And then I've got a coordinating piece of cardstock, and I chose Mossy Meadow, and I put it through the Forever Plaid embossing folder, and it's going on this side. So you can see how my card's going together. Now I have one more piece. I used the Natural Hues Designer Series Specialty paper, and there was 3 colors of this. I hope you can, my camera will focus there, to see the texture on this. And it is the lightest one that was in that package. There was 3 different colors in that package, so that was the lightest one. Okay, so we'll get this all put together. I also have some embellishments that I had to kind of manufacture for myself to go with this card. So we'll see how that all looks. Oh, I was going to show you how I did the happy birthday. I did leave it on the block so you could see how I lined them up. You can see, whoopsie, I'm tipping it the wrong way. Happy and birthday beside, but they are 2 separate stamps. But that's a really good way to use your grid paper. you put the stamps down on your grid paper on a dark line, and then you can just pick them up with your block. Okay, let's get to putting this together. So I think we'll start with these 2 pieces of paper, and I'm hoping my glue will run today. You know how much fun I have with this liquid glue, but I do love using it. So I'm a faithful user of it. So here we go. There we go. It really sticks things down really good, and you don't need a lot. Okay, so we'll put those together onto our card. Just lay it over to the side there. So I'll do this one first. And I think I will just, you're going to have an edge around. Did I tell you what size this piece was? I probably didn't. This piece is 1 1/4 by 5 1/4, and then run through your embossing folder. And this piece of designer series paper, and you can decide which way you want. It has quite a pattern on it. I think I do want it this way. And just trying to line it up when the card is closed so that the top of both of those and the bottom look lined up. That's good. All right. So that's the outside of our card. Simple enough. We'll do the inside while we're here. What I did for the inside, bring my mat back, is I took this foil piece, and it does have cuts in it, so your glue kind of squishes through, so you have to be careful with that. But I just laid it down like that, and I took the happy birthday, whoops, that I had stamped, and I just laid the happy birthday across it like that and glued it on just to give it some background. So I just put some glue on here and glued this down right on top of the foil. I try to make sure that's sort of straight, and then I just laid it like in the middle, sort of in the middle, it doesn't really matter, and just laid it like that. Give it a second to dry, and you might see when I lift this up, a little bit of glue squishes through because these have slits in them. So this is getting glued right in the inside. Now, because of those slits and it's foil, you need to be careful with this liquid glue. So I'm going to just put glue right along where I put that, my greeting. I'm not putting it on the edges because I don't want it to squish out. Now I'm going to move this because I don't want glue on my card. And then on the inside, because it's crumb cake, I felt that you could write on this. I didn't need a white or a very vanilla or any other layer in here, so I just put this right in the inside. Should make sure I'm getting it straight, and it is definitely not. That looks a bit better. Okay, so just stuck in like that, and that's our inside of our card. So it does give it a little more thickness because I've got 2 layers there, but it's still good enough. All right, let's work on this front part. How I did this was, my plan is to put this here, and it's going to only be glued to your right side. So when you open your card, it's going to be like that. Okay, so I want to put this corrugated piece on, but I wanted this leaf on, and I didn't, it took up way too much space. So I did a little finagling with it, and I put it down like that, and it just held it for a second so I could do this. And I tucked this corrugated piece in between, kind of, so you can see the leaf peeking out from behind, but there's going to be a little bit of leaf on there. And then I thought I could put this on just like that, and that would finish it off. So that was my plan. It was a little tricky to get it down, but when I held it like this, I knew that I wanted a little glue on all the leaves like that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 leaves, and the rest don't need glue on them, and do them right at the base of the leaf. So I just did it like this, right at the base, because these leaves also have splits in them. So you have to be careful because your glue again will squish out. So I just put a little bit of glue, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6 right here. And you can put a little bit at the bottom because it does get glued down at the bottom there. And I didn't put any glue on that other stem. And then laying it down, again, you have to be careful because when you lay it down on your card, you don't want it to the leaf to stick out past your card edge. So I sort of laid this on where I think I want it. And then I laid this here just to make sure that it didn't go off my card edge. It can go off the edge of this Natural Hues paper, like I've got it a little bit off the edge here. That's okay, it just can't go off the edge of your card. So that's like that. This is still loose. Okay, so just want that to stay down. And what I did while that's drying is I flipped this over to the wrong side. I just have to make sure what's wrong side. You can still see the stitching on here, so you have to kind of look at it carefully. Turn it to the wrong side, and I put dimensionals on this piece. So that it will stand sort of up, which I really liked. And then I glued, whoops, put my greeting on. Don't need that one. Okay, so take your dimensional backs off like this. They go in the garbage, of course. If you live in Canada, we just had a long weekend last weekend, and the weather was finally pretty decent. So I was happy for that, and happy if anyone was camping or going on a weekend away, because we sure haven't had, we've had some very interesting weather here in Alberta. Late snows and rains and winds. So I just centered that on there like that. And now my leaf, I can attach it up here. Now I didn't attach it yet because I wanted to get my greeting on here, and I don't want the leaves to go over the words, but that looks pretty good. So I am happy with that. I may not put it right to the edge there. I may put it over there a little bit, just like that. That looks good. So now I know where I can put my greeting. I'll put some glue on the back of that. I didn't put dimensionals on this because we've already got dimensionals on our other piece here. So if my leaf is going down like that, I think I want to put it about there. Okay. And like I said, this mini corrugated embossing folder has retired. So you could go back and you could use your, repeat the Forever Plaid on there, or if you had another embossing folder. So then what I did with this was I just picked it up and I flipped it like this so that I could flip the leaf out a little bit. And again, I'm just putting a little glue on the bottoms of the leaves here, just at the base of the leaf. I just don't want too much glue to poke out. Then I'm going to lay it back down, and it's falling exactly where I wanted it, and I just glued it like that. Okay, so that's our front greeting piece. Now I'm going to bring my card back in, close my card up. I want to lay this on here, and I'm centering it on the papers from side to side, but I wanted it a little more to the top, so you can put it anywhere you want. But I just kind of wanted it like that. So again, I only want glue on the right-hand side of this. So the easiest way to do it is, now I've got it where I want it. I'm going to just flip it over like that. And I know, whoopsie, you have to hold this down. I know that I want the glue just on this side. So you can see where the opening is here. So I don't want any glue past that. So you can put your glue on like this. Just like that. Flip it over. And you've got glue in the right spot. So again, you want to put it on the card wherever you like, but I'm watching my left and right edges of paper here and trying to get it straight. And again, it's only sticking on this side. So you can do that. And then I just flipped it over and laid it like this and just ran my hand on here to make sure that it got glued. Okay, there we go. There's our card. And I really like the way it opens. I think it's really nice. Different. Now, I didn't have any embellishments to go with this. So sometimes I find myself in a bit of a pickle with that I don't have the right color or whatever. You can use blends on rhinestones and change the color. That's always a good idea. But what I did for this, because I have this earthen toned foil, I thought, why don't I take just a regular hole punch, and I punched out some dots out of the foil. There they are there. I hope you can see them. Just the little, it's a regular hole punch, okay? So I did that, and what I did was just put a drop of glue where I wanted my embellishments. I think I'll put one maybe here. So I just put a drop of glue on, and then I'll lay that embellishment on top. I'm going to put a couple down here, one there and one there. So this way I'm bringing out the foil, but it's sort of, I homemade these. And I'm using my take your pick tool to pick them up because that's really an easy way. And again, you have to be careful with the liquid glue, because if you get liquid glue on the foil, it kind of smears and makes a mess. So I'm trying to be quite careful with it. So I did some extra ones so that I would have them in case I sent them flying or whatever. But there is how I did the embellishments on there. Easy way. Okay, so there's my card. I didn't mention that I used Mossy Meadow ink for my stamping. The only stamping, of course, that I did was the two greetings, one on the front and one in the inside. But that's the card. So nice, different opening on that card that I really enjoyed. And I think it could be made out of all kinds of paper, and you could use circle dies for the front. I just think there's a lot of possibilities for this one. So I hope you enjoyed that. I don't have another sample card to show you today, but there you go. I hope everybody has a great week.